Hi to everyone. This is my update to let you guys know what happened when I went to the Achieve the Dream event this weekend in Atlanta. This video may end up being a two-parter because it may end up running long, so I'll probably cut it off and start again. But I attended the Achieve the Dream event in Atlanta, Georgia on Thursday. I took 2 days off of work. I took Thursday and Friday just in case I was gonna have to let me turn my TV down. Just in case I was gonna have to go back. So I first of all, I'm coming from Alabama, so the event was an hour and maybe 45 minutes away from me. So I didn't get there at 8 like I wanted to, like when the doors opened, because I knew people were gonna be lining up. I actually met a girl who said she had been lined up since 6:30 that morning. I knew I couldn't make that with the time difference from Alabama to Atlanta. So I got there at 9:30. First of all, it was in a great building, and they had volunteers pointing you to where you needed to go, which was awesome. Um, so it's a big place, a lot of people. So you kind of like I didn't really know where I was supposed to go because I wasn't just starting in the program. I was kind of trying to finish up. So I didn't know where I was going to go. So the first volunteer told me I needed to go to scan documents. So as I was sitting there, I asked them about it. I'm like, well, why do I have to scan documents? I mean, I've been in the program since December of 2017. So I upload my documents every 2 weeks and every month. So I don't need to scan anything. And let me just say this too. I went to the event with I don't even know what the bag is, so I will show you guys. A nylon Target tote bag, which had both of my boundaries in it. I had a laptop bag and I had a crossbody purse. So I felt like the bag lady, first of all. So then the guy was like, well, no, since you already uploaded your stuff, you need to go see an MC. So I go to that section. And it's not that many people when I first get there, but as time goes on, it starts filling up. And they had it going like a snake. So every time this person moves, you had to move your seat. So it's like musical chairs. Every time one person gets up to go to an MC, you you move to the next seat, and so on and so forth until it's your turn. So finally, it's my turn, and I think I get over to an MC. Maybe it was 11 o'clock, or maybe 12. I mean, I sat there waiting for an MC for a while, but it was just so much going on. It didn't feel like I was there for that long, but I guess I was. So I get hooked up with the MC from Philly. He's new to the program, only been an MC for a month, I think he said. Um, so we started going over my file, and for some reason, the letters of explanation that I had given my normal MC from my other visits weren't attached in my file. And then, of course, the scanner that he had at his desk wasn't working. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not going over there to the scan document section because it was so many people over there to scan stuff that I already scanned. Like, I'm not going to do that. So I pulled out my laptop and just resubmitted them into my files as I'm sitting in front of him. So, side note, let me just throw this in there right quick. That if you have a laptop and you want to attend one of these events, please take it because it came in handy. And so, okay, so I uploaded those LOEs that he needed, and then my file. Every time he went to submit me, my file kept coming back saying it needed more explanation. Which, as you're sitting there and they're doing all your stuff, they turn the computer screen so you can see it too, so you can see all of what they're doing or whatever. And so we were trying to figure out like why we kept getting that response, and he had to go get help, and they couldn't figure out. Then what happened was the person that has my co-borrower who dropped out was still on my file, so I guess it was trying to read that person. So we ended up like just trying to X him off the file, and then let him go ahead and try to submit me. The next problem we ran into was the I'm sorry, I feel like my mind is a blank. But we ran into he had this guy helping him, which I really didn't care for because he wasn't listening to me. Cause me and my MC that I was working with, we were like going over numbers, and he was trying to get me to be qualified for what I wanted for the house that I was trying to get. So he asked me what kind of house I was looking for, and I pulled up my Realtor.com app, and I showed him the house that I've been eyeing for like a while now, cause it's been on the market for a while. And so we looked at the taxes on it, and he calculated the taxes to be 4.5, 5%. But when the guy came over, he was like, "Well, this is not going to work. You know that those taxes are so low." And he kept trying to put my region as Birmingham, Alabama. Well, I don't live in Birmingham, so I'm like, my taxes wouldn't be based off of Birmingham because I don't live in Birmingham. So, um, at one point, while he was trying to get my file situated, I went to the restroom, and as I was going to the restroom, I saw my original MC from Birmingham. I saw her, so I stopped and talked to her or whatever. So when they were trying to figure out, when I got back to my desk to my MC, they were still trying to figure out what my taxes were, and I said, "Well, my MC is right down there. You can go and ask her." So they did. They went and asked her, and they came back. And which she works in the Birmingham office, so she once again she was like, "Well, it's between 8 and 9%." She said she just always used 8 and 9%. So I'm like, "But I don't live in Birmingham, so it's not." So then my MC she came over to where I was, and I was talking to her, and I was like, "Well, that's my tax rate is not 9%," and she was like, "Yeah," and then the other MC was like, "Well, those taxes, that tax rate is kind of low." And it's like, well, it's Alabama, so it's cheaper here, so it's gonna be lower than where you guys are from. I think she was from Charlotte, and the other guy, like I said, was from Philly. So he got me submitted, and then he walks me over to the underwriting section. So I go over there. I'm looking like, oh, okay, it's not that many people over here. This shouldn't take long. By this time, it's after 4, so I spent about 4 hours with the MC, which was fine because I really wanted to get things situated. But as I was sitting there waiting for the underwriter, and you know how once something is over, you start like playing it back in your mind. I'm like, wait a minute, he counted my furniture bill. He shouldn't have counted my furniture bill to my DTI because it's 10 payments or less, and anything under 10 payments shouldn't go against you. So I see my MC again, my normal MC from Birmingham, and I asked her, I'm like, well, he shouldn't have counted that. And she was like, well, just go ahead and get your approval and come to the office, and and I'll fix it. We'll figure it out, and we'll fix it. She was like, just get your approval here. So I was like, okay. So I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And as I'm waiting, I go up to the lady, because as they walk you over there, the MC who you're working with, they sign your name on this clipboard. So you have to wait for underwriters to call you to their desk. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I keep going up to the lady with the clipboard like, well, how far am I on the list? Like, this is crazy. There had been people sitting over there since like 2 o'clock that evening. So I'm like, well, this is just ridiculous. It really wasn't that many people when I got over there. So we're waiting and we're waiting, and I met some good people while I was over there waiting, talking to them. And they going to check why they haven't their file hasn't moved, and we're waiting and we're waiting. And finally, when I was like, well, it's getting late. I still have to drive all the way back home. I'm gonna see where I am on the list, and I'll just come back tomorrow because I did take 2 days off of work in case I needed to come back. So um, I go up to the lady. I'm like, well, where am I on the list? And if I leave when I come back tomorrow, do I just need to come back to this spot and get back on the list? And she was like, yeah. So then I looked, and she was like, well, you only have 4 people in front of you. So I'm like, it's 4 people. I can wait. So I go back and sit down, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait some more. And then I go up again, and I ask her again, and I see what she crossed my name off. And she was like, well, no, that just means somebody working on your file. So how they were doing the underwriting part of it was, once your MC writes your stuff down on that clipboard, your underwriter gets that number, your NACA ID number, and they work on your file. And once they finish going through it and trying to underwrite it or whatever, they'll call you over to the desk which is why it was taking so long and why you would sit there and it would look like people wasn't working. They actually were working. They were working on the file and they was gonna call the person up there after the fact. Okay. So this video was like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna cut it now and record another one. Be right back.